Thank you.
Thank you. Sanitize it for you.
Yes, please. Thank you very much, Governor Kimemia. The Right Honorable Raila Odinga, the Second President of the Republic of Kenya, my colleague governors, our senior business leaders, MKF directors, Senator Orengo, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I thought you've just had lunch. Good afternoon. Weka bidii kidogo. I have just about 4 points to make, and I have 2 minutes, so let me be very quick about it. First point was already raised by the Honorable Nyokabi about political violence, and I think Mheshimiwa Mungai has repeated it. And it is true, people are using political violence as a strategy for voter suppression. It is happening right now in Olmoran. We have lost 10 people in about 3 weeks. And we need your assistance. Ladies and gentlemen, we do. I mean, government has sent police and so on, and we are trying to cope with it. We are building new police stations, but we need resources to build them. And the police officers themselves will require vehicles and other things. So I hope MKF, as you look into the things that are to be done, it is true that that is happening right now in Olmoran. It has been used before. I think in the election of 1997, nearly 60 people were massacred one day in a similar strategy. And we must overcome this. So I suggest myself, I may not quite want to go in the direction of the Honorable Jenga Mungai. They are bandits, both political and criminal bandits, who are terrorizing a community. In this particular instance, Kisis and Kikuyus who live there are being targeted. But I would not want us to profile a whole community and say, I would rather we say the truth. There are some political bandits who are using young men. But I leave it there because it is not really the subject of today. But we need assistance. And I want to thank Governor Lee, Governor Nyoro, Governor Kimemia, because they were the first responders in supporting my effort and the effort of the national government to bring this situation under control. My second point, those of you who enjoy mountain climbing, and he was a very good friend of the Right Honorable Prime Minister, you know that the base of mountain climbing is Nanyuki and Narumoro. So perhaps in a very retro manner, the Prime Minister then started the journey to climb Mount Kenya from Nanyuki and from Narumoro. But it was not the only thing that he came to do. We, the 4 governors and a number of other business leaders, met with the Prime Minister to take a dive into what is our economy. This question was put to me by Eddie Joroge and MG Waweru about a year and a half ago. What is this economy? And so we went to look at the numbers and found out that it is a 2.7 trillion economy. Between here, Kiambu and Meru, between Tharaka Nithi and Nakuru, 2.7 trillion shillings. In dollar terms, it is $27 billion. What surprised Eddie is that it is a bigger economy than Mauritius. Because Mauritius, as a country in Africa, is taken as, the crown jewel of what economies should be. What surprised Eddie and MG Waweru was that it is a bigger economy than Botswana. It's a bigger economy than Rwanda. Just those 10 counties. And so some months ago, when we made this presentation back to the business leaders, they then asked us, who is in that economy? Who is responsible for these uchumi? So we went to look, and we found nearly 3 million business people, micro and small businesses, many of whom spoke here. 3 million micro and small businesses power that economy. That is the 4th largest economy in East Africa. That is bigger than 34 different African countries. Bigger than 34 different African countries. So the Prime Minister himself asked us a question. Therefore, what must be done? And one of the reasons he came to Nanyuki was to take a look at some work we've been doing there in support of micro businesses. Like what? And Solomon spoke to it. I think it was Solomon. He asked for a 25 billion shilling stimulus package. The Prime Minister wanted to see, because in Laikipia we have a 3 billion stimulus package for just Laikipia peke yake. So if we are going to scale it up to national, Solomon, actually it's about 150 billion shillings in stimulus to micro and small businesses. That is what we need to do. I think he had been told by Dr. S.K. Macharia, you know, allow me to tell you a secret. I'm at Citizen, and on my way out, I met with Dr. Macharia and said, I said, I was talking about micro business. He said, come and explain. So I explained to him that there are some young men who make a tuk-tuk in Nyahururu. He whipped out his checkbook and paid 450,000 shillings and became the first customer of the BJ50 tuk-tuk. Put your hands together for Dr. Macharia. We are about to deliver it to him. We are waiting for him to tell us the appropriate ceremony to celebrate this. It was a journey of 2 years because of regulatory hurdles. Because of regulatory hurdles. For instance, we have a system in Kenya that runs the transport, whatever. It's called the Transport Integrated Management System. For you to register a unit, it requires you to show a customs entry. Meaning, the system has been built with the belief that all motor vehicles are going to be imported. And these are the things that we want to change so that these micros can thrive. So the Prime Minister wanted to see, okay, let me see what you're doing. So we had a few SMEs come around and show him some of the things that they're making. And he, in fact, bought one of the machines, not the tuk-tuk, he bought a machine to mill and make feeds and so on for livestock. We hope he's also going to buy a BJ50. I'm 1 minute from closing. Just 1 minute from closing. And I want to then talk to the point that Dr. Macharia said, that we work. Who are we as Mount Kenya? We work and we value our work. And I want to explain it like this. You know, and you can help me answer, Uncle George. Mukami ekagatia. The name Mukami. Ekagatia. Nego kamaga. Gideji ekagatia. Emushiri ekagatia. Emuri ekagatia. Yes. Our names, we are proud of ourselves for working. We call ourselves the trades that we are in. I want to explain my last point, which I'm sure Uncle George and Chairman Munga know. The name Kibaki is a trade. My grandfather's name is Getu. The reason he was called Kibaki is because he was the biggest tobacco merchant in that side of the Aberdare. That is why he was called Kibaki. We value the work that we do. And therefore, our conversation with the Prime Minister is about scaling up that support, as Solomon was asking, to small businesses. Our conversation amongst ourselves is removing barriers so that small businesses have access. Like the tuk-tuk in Nyahururu should be able to be sold in Nakuru and Meru and Tharaka Nithi without additional taxation. Ladies and gentlemen, Mheshimiwa Raila said Kibaki Tosha. So I ask you, Mount Kenya, what do you say? What do you say? What do you say?